Valedictorian, Om Patel.
I just want to say I have dinner reservations after this, so we're gonna keep this rolling. Actually, it's like 30 minutes, so. Good evening, everyone. Today, I would like to welcome all teachers and faculty, parents and friends, and lastly, the class of 2021. I woke up this morning and the first thought I had was I have to give a speech today. So naturally, I went back to sleep. But then I remembered that my family was staying over, so I should probably get up. Realistically, I got up at like 11 o'clock, but in my family, I mean the cluster of 30 or so Indians seated in the center over there. Before we begin, I would like to ask everyone to please close your eyes and bow your heads for one moment. Nothing gets rid of your anxiety like rickrolling your entire graduating class. Dear class of 2021, we made it. It might have taken us an entire half an hour to walk from the end zone to our seats, but we still made it. We are one of the most talented classes to ever step foot in this school, in both academics and sports. I mean, just recently, our very own golf team won the state championship. They beat second place by 57 points. 57. Why compete? We can just dominate. I would also like to give a shout out to Cam Guidry, our very own sensational Tiger Woods in the flesh. Cam, I ask that you drive safe though, and in that regard, do not follow in Tiger Woods' footsteps. All right, moving on to our baseball team. All right, moving on to academics. Our class brought in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of scholarship funds. Hundreds. Y'all might not like math, but I do know that you like counting money. So rest assured that this is something you take deep pride in. And as a class, we need to make sure that we stay motivated to go forth and be successful in our lives. For example, just 2 days ago, I had to go help my grandpa do some work in our garden. That's the day I realized that my grandpa, a man in his 70s, has more endurance than I do. See, we had to build some walls that would hold in soil. A little more than an hour went by, and I was ready to go back inside. I was ready to clock out for the day. I looked over at my grandpa, expecting him to be worn out, and he looks at me and tells me that we've only finished 1/3 of what we had to do for the day. It was at that point that I realized that whatever I'm doing in life at the moment is wrong. If a man in his 70s can outwork you, you need to make a change in your life. I went from being in shape and playing soccer just 5 months ago to barely even being able to handle an hour in the heat. At least now I'm motivated to not just sit on my bed all day and go do some sort of physical activity. I'm saying that, but I'm not doing any physical activity. I think it's safe to say that we all hate COVID-19, but as Drake says, before you give up, think of the reason you held on so long. And I mean, I think we all know that Drake is a great source of wisdom. To be honest, I don't even know if that quote was from Drake. I think that the lesson that COVID has taught us is to persevere. I think that this is a lesson we should take with us into the future. No matter what the circumstances are, we should keep going. No matter how hard college gets, remember why you're there. No matter what life throws at you, remember what makes it worth living. For me, that's my family. Every single one of them sitting right up there, and every single one of you sitting right here. I think that instead of taking our first step forward, we should take one step backward and thank everyone that brought us to where we are today. Thank you to our wonderful teachers for spending just as much time as they spent in the class as they did out of class in order to make sure that our classrooms ran smoothly. Thank you to our custodians who cleaned up our messes without complaint. Thank you to our staff in the cafeteria for cooking us food every day, no matter how they were feeling. Thank you to our staff in the front office for being some of the nicest people I've ever met. Thank you to our counselors for providing us guidance and help with almost everything we've ever needed. Everything school related. Thank you to our coaches for turning our teams into our families. Thank you to our families for pushing us to be here and supporting us throughout our entire journey, no matter how bad our attitudes were. Thank you to our officers for protecting the school from harm. I want to give a special shout out to Officer Chris for being the man. Hopefully, since I included you in this speech, you'll be willing to remove any potential tickets I get in the future. Thank you to our principal, Coach Mitchell, for doing an excellent job of running our school after Kirk Dog left. I feel bad for saying that because I just saw Principal Kirkland like 10 minutes ago. Thank you to our school board for actually canceling some school days for the first time due to the bad weather we had earlier this year. All I have left to say is that it is the relationships that we have with other people that make up our lives. Every year up until now, we have said goodbye, knowing that we would see the same faces again the next year. Now, our time together is coming to an end. However, don't panic, don't worry, because this is only the end of our beginning. A new era is about to rise, one where we cannot be held back by adversity, one where we control our fates, not others, one where the world is for our taking. Congratulations, class of 2021. We truly made it.
Honor graduate